Is Marvel Strike Force in a better or worse place than it was 6 months ago? That extended time frame was always what Scopely would use to judge the health of this game, and I gotta say, I am not sure. So what we're gonna do in this video, we're gonna look back at the previous blog post, the previous patch notes, and everything, any major thing that happened in Marvel Strike Force over the past 6 months so that you can decide, are you having more or less fun in Marvel Strike Force than you were 6 months ago? And also talking about some solutions that Scopely, Boundless can do to improve the fun in their game, guys. And if you're ready for that, find that like button. And let's go smash it!
ValleyFlyin.
What is up, Valley Maniacs? I am ValleyFlyin, a salty ValleyFlyin. So get ready for some salt, guys, because yeah, we're looking back on the state of the game over the past 6 months in Marvel Strike Force. Is this game better or worse than it was 6 months ago? There's some positives and negatives that have occurred, but my big question, are you having more or less fun in the game? And if you're having less fun, what does Scopely need to do to improve the fun? Now, if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe. We are still covering Marvel Strike Force. We're going to be covering this game for better or worse for a little while, and we're also covering Marvel Future Revolution on this channel. So stay tuned for that. Hit that notification bell if you want to more great content. But let's take a look at the blog post. Let's go all the way back in time to December 8th, 2020, when 5.0 was released, and this is a very big patch. Now we know that this was going to be a very long patch. They were away for the devs were away for the holidays. They would not be returning for about 2 months, and they indicated that. So I was giving them a little bit of time to get back from the holidays during January, when a lot of the outrage from the community started. Back in January, I always say, you know what, things are gonna be good in 5.1 because they're away. They're not doing anything right now. They're not developing anything. They're not solving anything. They're going to do it in 5.1, but yes, did they do that? We will take a look at it. Let's see what happened during this update, though. We got 6 new playable characters. 6 new playable characters. That was a lot. Longshot, Shatterstar. So the X Factor team still not complete, 4-man team, but very, very good on war offense, and these characters are still very relevant in Arena right now. Although with the Infinity Watch coming, who knows how long these guys are going to be relevant, especially with that reduction of the crit chance by Phyla-Vell. Kitty Pryde, Iceman, still very relevant and required for that Axeman team that you need to dominate the raids. We also have the military skill beginnings with Yelena and Red Guardian. All right, Blitz Sim. This was a double-edged sword. I thought this was very, very positive, but this did create some problems for people, especially people that were used to pushing hard in Blitz to kind of compensate for their lower collection powers. It did hurt some people, but I think overall this was a positive change in my opinion, just for the time reduction that it gave us. Blitz rotation used to take about half an hour back in the day. Now it takes about 5 minutes. So this did reduce time. I think this was a very, very good welcome addition, although it was it wasn't totally positive for some of the community. All right, ISO 8 class lock, ISO 8 stats button, messaging, all this stuff is good. Quality of life changes so that we can do different things in the game, but content, is this more content? Did this add more fun to the game? Roster save squad update. This was actually very, very big. Before we could go into our roster section and update our save squads very, very easily. We'd have to go into our blitz section and update our save squads there. Very, very cumbersome. This is a very, very good thing. So 2 good things so far. Sim Blitz, although some of you may not have liked that, and this roster screening selection, able to update our save squads, very good things. Showstopper trait for the Mojo Mayhem Shatterstar event. Doom War Chapter 3, which is good. This is new content. We're able to farm more characters, and we were able to complete our gear tier 14 pieces. They're all now farmable in the Doom raids, or at least a majority of them. I think they're all farmable. Difficulty slider for Greek raids. This was another double-edged sword. It's always good to chase harder content, and the good thing, it made the Greek raids harder with some increased reward. The bad thing, it made alliance recruiting a nightmare for a lot of alliances. The reason for that is when you previously, before you had these no heals and no revives in the Greek raids, you could just recruit somebody that has a lot of activity, and they can make up for a lower total collection power if they use some heals, if they use some cores, and recruiting is a lot easier. It got a lot more difficult because people had to be ready to go for these raids right off the bat. There's no heals, there's no revives. So this was a double-edged sword, but I did like the difficulty Dark Dimension 4 profile frames, that is game changing though. And ability updates for some characters. Now the big thing, real-time arena was introduced in this update, which I think started leading to a lot of frustration, a lot of players not liking the game, a lot of people angry about the game, and not much has been, there's been some minor changes every season, but not much has changed about this game mode. And I think that is a huge negative. So all these positives that were in 5.0 was overshadowed by that big real-time arena addition, which I have not heard a lot of people that say they like this game mode. Maybe the rewards, maybe some of the things in Battle Pass, but not the game mode itself, especially nowadays where it's all about Emma and Zemo and Kestrel and Dad Bros and a few other characters that if you don't bring in, you actually have no chance to win in real-time arena because everybody's using these characters. All right, a few bugs that were fixed, but one of the big additions that still has not been fulfilled that I do want to point out again. While Punisher has traditionally supported Defenders team, there's also a few city heroes that can slot in as a replacement. Okay. Punisher left the Defenders, they got weaker. We do have plans for additional Defenders in the future. Cue the rumor mill. That was total BS. The Defenders, they're actually gotten weaker. The only person that's still on the Defenders is Jessica Jones. Daredevil moved off of that team for the Shadowlands team. We had Luke Cage and Iron Fist move off of that team for that horrible War Defense Heroes for Hire team, which I guess I'm hearing people can punch up against this team, but I have not seen any screenshots of any Heroes for Hire 600K and above being punched up on. Some of the lower teams I have seen punch ups, but not anything 600K and above. If you do have those screenshots, let me know. But I don't think Heroes for Hire has added any fun to the game. Actually, for me personally, it's made war a lot worse, especially coming against some of these crazy powered Heroes for Hire teams. But that was 5.0. It was a long time, and the community was starting to get hot in January over real-time arena and some of the changes that the devs have been neglecting for years on some of them. So let's move to the next patch, the 5.1 release notes. This is when I thought it was going to turn around, guys. I thought, all right, they're back from vacation. They're back from their holidays. This is when it's going to turn around. We got some new playable characters. We got the completion of this Axemen team, who is very dominant in the raids right now. Jubilee Bishop. We also got White Tiger and Moon Knight, who are very fun parts of the Shadowland team. I gotta be honest. They were a fun team. They weren't a huge team that is required for content, but they made war a little easier. So I thought that was good. Real-time arena improvements. Oh my goodness. This is so tone deaf, and this shows that the devs did not play this game at a competitive level, because what did they change? Quitting a match before the victory screen will no longer rewards objectives or ratings level progress. Additionally, the AI will now take over the opposition's team if they leave early in the match. So having the AI take over was a good change. Quitting a match before the victory screen was a bad thing, because what happened, and this was not a major thing. People were quitting because they had bad matchups and they wanted to get into another matchup, into another match. But what this did, when the AI took over, you could not get into another match. You just had to wait there until that original match with the AI involved was completed. So this made RTA much worse in 5.1. RTA was bad, and it's still bad, but it was much worse at this time. Dark Dimension updates. Quickly navigate to Dark Dimension with a tab. All right, cool. I don't know if that's worth a full bullet point, but I'm glad they added that. Alliance leaders can now switch alliances. All right, so some user interface for alliance leaders, which is good for finally. And some of the changes that they were talking about still are not implemented. Some of these alliance management changes. Indicators to have real-time arena selection screen to let you know which characters to contribute to Moja's Mayhem. So fun! Deploy your Pimtech team in a legendary event like Totally Jubilee, and yeah, another trash team. Except for Ghost, Pimtech is kind of trash or kind of useless in most areas of the game, except for Ghost. So yes, a little controversy here, but it's not anything out of the norm that has been done previously. And the Infiltrator tag. All right, and that is pretty much it that happened in this update. We got a few minor things, and yes, but over the course of this update, the community outrage started to increase, and we had a first half preview during this update, and I gotta be honest, very excited about the first 2020 blog post, very excited about the second 2020 roadmap. This was so disappointing. There was nothing in here that added more fun. Everything in this was more monetization methods, costumes. I was kind of hyped for this. This is a little minor tidbit that would have been added to the game to give us a little more variety in the characters that we're using, some in the visual aspects of these characters. But this is a big fail in my opinion, at least so far. $50 for that Electra costume that you may or may not use, and most of the time she's gonna be a stealth anyway, so who cares if she has another costume? This Captain Marvel costume, $33 for a palette swap. Awesome. Now we did get Nick Fury, which people are using a lot more now that Kestrel has been added to the game and Nick Fury got his rework. And then we did get more useless tunes. If you're closer to the end game, you're not really using Thor, Vision, or Scarlet Witch. So very disappointing with costumes so far, and the prices are outrageous. So monetization for them, outrageous prices for costumes. Tier 2 ISO 8. What do we need this for? They're teasing this in this blog post, but what content do you need ISO 8 ISO 8 2 on right now that you can't already do? I don't even need ISO 8 level 5 on my characters, let alone blue or ISO 8 level 6 or whatever this is called. This is not added any fun. It's late game content introduced to players as rewards for the Doom raids, but oh yeah, we're not going to be able to get into Doom raids anymore. So more fun, awesome stuff with this ISO 8 blue. Way to read the room, Scopely. Strike Pass, oh my goodness. One of the responses is for this was, hey, why are you adding another Strike Pass when we already have a Battle Pass that was just introduced a couple months ago? And one of the responses from the devs, and I can't remember if this was a private server, public server, hey, do you guys not want more value added to the game? Hell no, we want more fun added to the game, not more ways to spend money and get more resources. Who cares what resources we get if we can't use these new upgraded characters in any fun game mode? So who cares about this Strike Pass? Especially since they're releasing Silver Surfer and Polaris 2 times in this Strike Pass. Not fun at all. Exclusive new character. I would say that Kestrel is a double-edged sword. It did change the game. She did add some positive elements, especially with Doom raids and some other things. But yeah, Kestrel's all over the place now. Real-time Arena, you can't go into it without seeing Kestrel. Arena, all over the place in Arena. And yeah, so it's a double-edged sword with Kestrel, especially since most of players will play this because they like the Marvel IP. This is a brand new character, and I guess technically she is going to be in the Marvel canon, but introduced in Marvel Strike Force, so I would just call this a wash, this exclusive new character. Save Squad's tab still not in the game yet, still being teased, and I guess it's because their framework is so fragile that they can't change anything without breaking anything in the game. Raid Season Milestone Rewards, this was not well received in the beginning, and this is going to be a problem with these new Doom Raid requirements as well. Milestone 20 is where it is at now. It started at 28 previous to this, but a lot of alliances. And one of the big issues with these raid season milestones, you got to claim it right away. If your alliance is pushing at the last minute, if you don't claim it right in that last minute, they go away right away, unlike a lot of these other challenges. So this I guess it was good that it's giving out Silver Surfer shards, but this made it apparent that if you're pushing at the last minute, and you get one last milestone, if you don't claim it right away, screw you, Commander. So again, I would say this is good because we're getting more rewards, but there's a lot of negatives associated with this as well. Raid key tracking, I don't think that's been implemented in the game yet. So yeah, this makes it easier for alliance leaders to track the progress. But again, does this add more fun? What fun are we getting? It's definitely not from these dark promotion credits for Ultron, especially when they're reducing the drop rates when there's a featured character, which is when it's the smartest time to open these red star orbs. So yeah, and honestly, who's using Ultron? Anybody in the late game that has enough red stars to start to get these dark promotion credits? And once you get Doom, probably not using Ultron a lot. And even if you are using Ultron, you're a mid-game player or you're an end-game player that doesn't have Doom yet. Does 3 red stars really make a difference on him? I don't have any 3 red stars, but everybody that has saying not so much. So this was kind of a fail in my opinion. The API, it is on MSF.gg right now, and it has provided some of the raid maps, some of the drops, some of these waves that come out in the raids or Dark Dimension. So it's good, but it's not what everybody wants, being able to track your roster on a real-time basis. So hopefully that will come soon, but doesn't look like it's happening in the first half of 2021 because no mention of that in this upcoming update. Under review, the 2 areas that they could have added more fun: Alliance War. Nothing was done to change Alliance War at all. Doesn't matter what they said here. All these things that they tested, who cares? You know what they did to improve Alliance War? Heroes for Hire. But did they really improve Alliance War, or did it make it worse? For me, it made it worse. I know there's some people that it made it better. There were some people in the chat this morning that it made it better. But for the majority of people that I'm hearing from, it made Heroes for Hire made Alliance War a lot worse. So this was a game mode that got a lot worse very recently. And Real-Time Arena, minor changes done to it, and but not much. This is still a horrible game mode. I don't like playing Real-Time Arena unless they take off any use objectives and you just go in for wins, knockouts, and they balance the matchmaking. This is not gonna be a fun game mode. And let me know what you think they could do to improve Real-Time Arena. Maybe it's improving the draft, streamlining the draft process, because going in blind against a opponent that you don't know what it's going to be is not fun. You could get smashed, or you could totally smash the opponent. Either way, not fun. So I'm one of the minority that really liked the balanced PvP. I thought that was a fun game mode. I wish for Real-Time Arena they would have expanded on some of the fun things about Real-Time Arena and taken off some of the negatives, like that time. They haven't figured out a way to do that. They just introduced this lazy battle pass selling Real-Time Arena that's all right. So that was the 2021 preview, which was very disappointing to me and left a lot of players saying, what is that it? All right, so more outbursts. The save MSF movement was going kind of strong at this time, and let's look at some of the feedback for that. Trading modules, they did increase that slowly. They did recently increase that, and we are in June right now. This was a thing. This was posted back in March, so they did recently increase that new Back to Bootcamp event. I think they've increased it in a few different places, but still could use more. I would have liked to see them address this with just getting rid of it, making it just cost gold and not worrying about trading mats. But Scopely needs every single bottleneck they can. They made 300 million last year, guys, and it's not a good company unless you see the profits increase. So they're really going into profit-driven mode right now. Recently increased some drop rates and everything for orange gear. I think it's not as much of a bottleneck, although those gear tier 13 uniques are still a huge bottleneck, and it's actually harder for a lot of players to get those gear 13 uniques than it is for the 14s and the 15s, which is backwards. Raid season milestones, we talked about it earlier. Skilled military characters, that team was so bad and not working properly, not working like they sold us, that they had to go back and fix that. Yeah, and then some bugs, which still I'm not sure if they're correct. Buffs not expiring, that is not fixed. Arena exploit, there's still some word of that not being fixed. I don't use Black Panther, so I don't know if that is working. Costumes, as of right now, no stat bonus is not required for anything. There is a but. To be clear, guys, there is a possibility that in the future, costumes could unlock additional perks, but there are presently no plans for them to do so. And this was present as of March 5th. No telling if in June, they still have no plans for that. But at the time of this writing, they had no plans to, yes, more freedom to customize the look of their characters without freely pressure to change costumes in order to edge a battle. Yeah, it's especially with that $50 and $33 price points for the introduction of Elektra and Captain Marvel. Let's go to the next 5.2. All right, we got Silver Surfer, Multiple Man, and Polaris. This was our Power Leap, our first beginnings of Power Leap. March 16th is when it happened. And honestly, I was pretty hyped for Silver Surfer, but bugs, cheating, manipulating offers out made it very clear that this was not an even playing field. And some of the offenders that purchased Silver Surfer multiple times was 3-day bans, not permanently banned. And I'm not talking about the people that did it 1 or 2 times. There was people that did it, in excess of 12 times, not permanently banned. Very, very, very insane. We got Super Sleuth trait for the Multiple Man, and Multiple Man Polaris, not very valuable outside of war and outside of a full team. Their job is to protect the dad bros, and if you're not really a lot of use if you're using these guys without the dad bros. I know some people are taking Multiple Man up, but for Dark Dimension 4, but still a mutant character. You could use your mutants and get a lot further along if you're using other characters. Falcon and Winter Soldier event, I think this is pretty positive. I'll give them that. 10 new save squads updates. We still don't have the tabs, so this is the band-aid that we're talking about. So we're not totally not having any of our save squads. We're not missing so many. The 3-year anniversary, I gotta get into that as well. That was a very, very player-friendly event. So 2 big positives with this: the 3rd anniversary and the Falcon and Winter Soldier event. Strike Pass. Yes. It actually was implemented in this update. Not good, not good. And it did give us more resources into our economy, but it creates a wider gap between the free-to-play players and the pay-to-win players. And for the long-term health of the game, creating that gap, keep continuing to create that gap is not a good thing. Catch-up mechanics are a good thing, so that there's an influx of new players. New players are incentivized to play this game and potentially spend money on this game. But no, creating more bottlenecks, creating more separation is kind of what this did. Raid season update, new milestones and rewards. Again, controversial when it was released, and there's still that issue with people not being able to claim it like other things. And all the customer service responses I've seen about that is, hey, wake up, claim your stuff earlier. So very, very tone deaf response. Real-time arena updates. Oh, quitting a match before the victory screen now reward objectives and rating level progress, but that was never the issue, was it? It was always not being able to enter a battle as soon as you quit the match. That was fixed, but it was not fixed as soon as this update dropped. ISO 8 classes can now be viewed on a set defense units. All right, so that was good. Let's talk about these bugs, though. Some of these bugs are still in the game. The Thor hammer, I think, is working correctly. Silver Surfer had a major bug. I have not been able to play my game on high graphics mode since Silver Surfer was released. So since March 16, 2021, not able to play the game on high graphics mode. So that was a major, major miss, and it's still not been fixed yet. There's word that maybe it's going to be fixed in 5.4, but as of right now, a few hours before this patch is released, not fixed. And there's still no guarantee that it's going to be fixed in this update because they're not sure. They're hoping that it'll be fixed. All right, resolve the issue. Negative effects still displaying sometimes. That is not fixed. That is not resolved. That is still in there. And as far as I know from the reports that you guys are giving me, the arena exploit is still there. And I'm not talking about Slingshot. I'm talking about that exploit. So yes, some of the big things that they publicized that were fixed, not fixed. Some of these ones I'm not sure about, but yeah, that is what update 5.2 looked like. Let's look at the last release where even stronger examples of power Kestrel. Strongest character, one of the strongest. It's between her and Silver Surfer. One of the strongest characters in the game, released in this update, and like I said, it's a double-edged sword. Added some playability, some doing the Doom raids, looking good. Colleen Wing and Misty Knight, there's also some negatives for Kestrel, like I said, though. So completely changed this game. And in the next patch after Silver Surfer, so power leaping is what we're doing, guys. Customize your characters with new rosters, new costumes. Yeah, this is exciting. Captain Marvel, not really. Who's using her nowadays? Elektra, not able to see that costume if she's in stealth, can we? Nick Fury, that did add some values. Thor, Scarlet Witch, Vision, I don't know who's using them. I do like that Iceman is being added as well. So that is a character that I use. So a limited time Voyager event. This was a decent event. This Voyager event for Kestrel. Res or Dark promotion credits. We already talked about how unexciting that is. Skill military team, the Back to Bootcamp event, that gives us more training modules. We still don't know how often this is going to occur, so this may be a big positive. It may be like Block Party in its initial inception, recording every other month, so that could be very bad. Roger Rabbit, Shake It in the Immortalized in the Marvel Strike Force in one of those aim stages in one of those flyers. And oh, guys, this makes this update. This is worthy of a bullet point. They got a new logo for Boundless Entertainment. I love it. Now appearing as Startup. We're the same studio, a fancy new title within the company. That makes this update. I was wrong. Take back everything I said. They got their new logo. So that is a major, major win. And we got some updates here. Now, one of the big misses, I think, if they go through with it, will be this in update 5.4. As we scroll down, you guys know what I'm going to talk about is these Doom raid requirements. ISO 8 level 5. Now, we did some calculation on stream. Just the controllers that you need in the Doom raids. There's 12 of them. You could argue maybe 10, but 12 that I counted that I'm using. That is 300,000 ions just to get each character from level 4 ISO 8 to level 5 ISO 8. And for 12 characters, that is 3.6 million ions. No way that we're going to get more ions, guys. We're just going to increase the bottlenecks. Who cares about releasing new content? Who cares about adding more fun? Let's just do this the laziest way possible and gate our current content behind new bottlenecks. And hopefully the players are stupid enough to chase these new bottlenecks. Let's move on. API, character availability, all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. Let's go into the game and take a look at what we know so far about these doom raid requirements, because this is wrong. To implement these changes, the doom raids will be unavailable starting a couple days behind the 5.4 update. I played it yesterday, but we're at Ultima 7.5 today, and that is not a good feeling. Going back in content, fully autoing Ultima 7.5, doing the Greek, that's not fun. Playing the doom raids every day, that was the most positive change in my opinion in these past 6 months, but they're reverting that. That is going away because these ion requirements, these insane ISO 8 requirements, no word on us getting more ions. No word on us getting more ISO 8 crystals, but blue ISO 8, guys, so exciting. What content do we need this for in the game? What content are you not clearing right now that you need to make your characters even stronger in order to clear it? Well, if you spend a crap load of ions on ISO 8 green, well, you can get some ISO 8 blue, just so you can get that shiny new character. And I don't know what you would need it for in the game, so it's super, super exciting. It does say that earning these character rewards will need level 4 ISO class or equip. I'm not sure if this is still going through, because this said a few days before the 5.4, you'll be unable to launch a doom raid. That is not true. This came on 5/31 a few days ago, and we ran a doom raid yesterday. So what's happening with the changes? One of the big changes. Level 4 class ISO 8, according to that blog post, for the first 5 nodes of everything in the doom raids, and level 5 after that, and that's very, very expensive. I don't think Scopely plays this game. I don't think they know how expensive it is, how much of a grind it is, and how bad it feels to go back to content that you could fully auto. That is not fun. And you know what else isn't fun? The lies about making doom raids easier for people, but also upping the requirements. Why? Why would you up the requirements unless ISO 8 is not selling well enough? If you want to sell some ISO 8 blues, it's all about sales, guys. It's not about making this thing more fun. And you know what else is not fun? Not to be able to get as many Silver Surfer milestones, because I got to go back to Ultima 7.5. That is not fun. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Now, what does Scopely need to do to improve the state of this game? Look at what's fun. Don't look at monetization. Obviously, you have to look at it. They have to charge players for something. They're a company. They need to make a profit. But it should be because the players are having more fun. And spending money is enhancing our fun, not just playing catch up, not fulfilling new gates, not fulfilling new bottlenecks. We got a lot of new bottlenecks. The only real content that we got in the past 6 months is the doom raids. But if that's taken away and we have to revert all the way back to Ultima 7.5, this is not good. So stop gating stuff. Stop gating stuff is what I think you should do, Scopely. Make things more fun. Focus on things that are fun. What game modes are being added that have more fun? I think this game can be turned around. Marvel Future Fight was in a very bad place when I left this to play Marvel Strike Force. That got turned around. Judging by a lot of the tweets that I see from Syndicalix, that game is in a very good place right now, and Netmarble is treating their players very well. I'm very excited for Future Evolution because of that. Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, where a lot of players came over to Marvel Strike Force from. That game was in a very bad place about a year ago, but apparently a lot of players are having way more fun playing Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes than they are playing Marvel Strike Force right now. Catch-up mechanics, fun, engaging game modes that you could push your characters for. That's what they have. But instead, in 2020, we got PvP and real-time arena. So that is our new game mode. So Doom Raids is good, but we need more of that. And we need you to not take away future content, Scopely, and focus on things that are fun. That's what I think needs to be done to fix this game. Some very broad strokes there, so you could interpret that how you want. If you have ways that you think Scopely can fix the game, leave it in the comments, guys. And hopefully we could get rid of the salt and we can get some positive messaging and start to look at this Infinity Watch team, this power leaping Infinity Watch team, which is going to be viable everywhere in the game. Arena, raids, war, all over the place, guys. So yeah, power leaping, maybe slow down on the power leaping. You need to have strong teams coming in the game to switch up the meta, but 3 patches in a row, switching the meta, not fun. That is very fast, guys. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens in this update. I will see you guys next time. News video is tomorrow instead of today because the update is dropping today instead of yesterday. And during the maintenance time. I'm going to be back on Twitch. I'm going to be playing some Summoner's Glory, guys. And if you want to play that game right now, use the code Valley when you create your new character, and then we'll come play while Marvel Strike Force is down, and we're doing a bunch of giveaways and playing with you guys. So some cool stuff there. Hopefully, you guys stop by the stream in just a little bit. But if not, hopefully, Scopely, you're listening and you make this game more fun. I want more fun, not more value, not more bottlenecks, not more gates, more fun. And I hope that is what happens. Give me a Hulk fist bump before you go, and hopefully some of these changes are implemented. ValleyFlyin out.